Have you made the decision? Have you actually made a clear decision, chosen what it is that you want to create in 2026? Have you actually decided how you're going to show up, what you're going to say yes to, and what you're going to say no to on purpose? Have you done that? If you have, fabulous. Then you get intention. If you haven't, friend, you are at risk of repeating 2025 and maybe even burning yourself out. Listen, this is what we are going to talk about today. This is the second conversation in our intention series. And today we're really going to bring it home and help you understand exactly how this impacts your business and how to use it from a day to day standpoint. If you're new to our series, hi, welcome. Pull up a chair, grab your favorite drink, settle in, put on your baseball cap, show up as you are. That's how we roll here. My name is Genevieve Scory. I am a serial entrepreneur, a mom of four entrepreneurs. I have been a former C suite executive for a $350 million brand, and I have been in sales and sales strategy my entire life. And I am here helping navigate you through the good, the bad, and the ugly, and coming out the other side of calm confidence when it comes to running your business and also selling. Today, we're finishing the conversation about intention. Well, I shouldn't say finishing because you never really are finished talking about or focusing on intention, but I want to break down for you today some more practical applications of how this shows up in your business because I am here to testify that the only difference, honestly and truly, between the uber successful and the roller coaster riders, and you know who you are, the people who are like, it was great one month, it's down one month. I seem like I go up two steps and then I slide backward four. The only difference between y'all is simply intention. And I want to be clear. Intention isn't a wish. Intention isn't a vibe. Intention is a decision with direction and commitment. It's a decision with direction and commitment. The minute you intend to make something happen, that 100% is the moment when you stop drifting and you take the wheel and also the rudder and you guide more effortlessly toward your goal. And I say more effortlessly because while it is not easy, it is definitely far more effective. So, when you set an intention, your brain, your subconscious, it goes to work with you, helping you look for all the things that are going to propel your business forward. It actually is this kind of line in the sand that you draw where you are like, hey, we're only doing things above the intention line, and we are saying no, not now, to everything below that line. And this is the antidote to stop your energy from leaking, for increasing your confidence, and for showing up authentically and feeling like your work is actually making an impact and sticking. So, intention is this decision that you need to make about where you're going. It's part identity, it's part direction, and it is absolutely, as I mentioned, this line of we do these things, we don't do these things. And I'm telling you this because it really is something that we don't talk about enough. And I believe it's largely because people really don't know. Like the successful people kind of get trained into it or somehow they've adopted it, but I don't see enough people talking about, well, what's your intention? So let's break this down into something practical. So you have a business. My question is, what have you decided about your business? I can tell within the first 30 seconds of a conversation with anyone that I am coaching whether or not they have actually set an intention or they're kind of a tree in the wind. They're bobbing in the sea. They're seeing what happens, right? So there's a very big difference between and I don't there's no shame here. A lot of people start a business with a let's see what happens sort of mentality. But in all sincerity, the minute you decide you actually want to create an income, you have to take the next step. You have to take the next step of making a decision about, well, do you want to create income or are you gonna create income? Because that's two very different things. And every mom out there knows what I mean. If I put this in reference of babysitting. So let's say you've hired a new babysitter either for your children or your grandchildren, and the babysitter shows up for the interview, and you ask the babysitter, what are your thoughts about safety with children? And they say, I just kind of I just see how things go. I just see how things go. Like we go throughout our day, we'll do a bunch of things. We'll go to the park, I'll feed them, we'll have playtime and nap time, and then we just kind of see how it goes. Huge, huge red flag. If you didn't kick that person out of your house, you for dang sure are not asking that person back for a second interview. Why? Because she doesn't feel, sound, or act like safety is something she intends to oversee. Now, you bring in the next nanny or a babysitter, and she says, oh, yeah, safety, one of my top core values. I have a 3-point system to ensure that your children are always safe. I am always in the same room with them. I am ensuring that I'm aware of our surroundings. I don't take risks with the kids. I mean, if you want to take risks, that's up to you. I don't take like that person has made a decision. Your children will be safe with me. The other person has not made that decision yet. Are you picking up what I'm laying down? And what I want you to know so badly is so many of you are actually doing some of the right things, but what isn't happening is you aren't doing them with any sense of intention. So let me ask you a question. If you have decided that you are going to make your business work in 2026, then you have also decided how much you're going to make. You have decided how you are going to show up. You have decided how often you are going to show up. And you have also decided what you're going to do to ensure the likelihood of success. In other words, it's not about some vague pie in the sky thing. You've made a decision and then actually taken steps in that direction to ensure that it happens. People with intention have more stick to itness. They have more grit. They get further faster because they know what they need to do with every step of their activities very clearly. So if I have a business and I've decided that in 2026, this isn't a hobby, I'm going to treat this thing like a legitimate business. I'm going to treat it like like I'm the CEO and leading myself and leading my prospects and leading my customers through the journey of whatever it is of the problem I solve. But the first intention here is I intend to actually have a successful business. Now, by the way, that's a very vague intention, but that's kind of the first step. The first step is like, okay, I've made the decision, not going to be a hobby this year. I've made the decision that I'm not going to let things get me down. I've made the decision that I'm not going to get caught up in drama. I've made the decision that I'm not going to listen to negativity. all of those things are great decisions, but they need to be attached to your actual intention. So if you have a business, it might be, you know what, this year, part of what I'm going to do is I'm going to decide how I'm showing up. So let's walk through 3 steps of creating a rock solid intention. Step number 1 is deciding what's the identity and the energy that you are bringing to the table in 2026. Now, for me, the decision I've made is I'm not going to drive towards success at all costs. I am driving towards success and also looking to partner with women that want a calm, decisive, strategic, and not reactive vibe. It's not about doing less, it's about doing things more effectively and not reactively. It's about showing up with calm and not chaos. It is about being super direct and specific and clear and not vague. So I've made a decision. You know what? I'm going to lead myself. I'm going to lead a community. I'm going to lead a charge. I'm going to lead a revolution if I have to. But like, I am not looking for the same as I have in the past. One of the and let me talk about identity for a second. Identity is the thing, the story that you tell yourself about your business and your relationship to your business. That's identity. So there's some people out there that their identity is it's a hobby. That's okay, but you can't have a hobby identity and expect to get professional results. There are some people out there that have a just when I need it sort of mentality with their business. So I'm on again, I'm off again. If it's inconvenient, not doing it. If it is convenient, I will do it. And there's inherently nothing wrong with that, except you can't expect consistency if your identity is steeped in on again, off again. When it works, it's great. When it doesn't, I'm out. One of the biggest mistakes people make is they don't upgrade their identity to match the goals, to match the direction, to match the outcome of where they want to go. Ladies, I am here to tell you, you are far more impactful than you will ever know. You are far more capable than you ever give yourself credit for. And when you step into that leadership, when you really start to embrace, like, I'm not exactly sure how this all works out, but I'll tell you what, I am going to get there. I am going to get there. And I know you have that in you. I know you have that in you, cuz every mom out there has what I call a mama bear strategy, a mama bear identity. And you know what I'm talking about. You do. You know that if God forbid your kids are in danger, you can pull out all kinds of superpowers. Like, I am totally convinced if I ever saw a loved one pinned under a car, I could lift that car off of that person. Like, there's literally no doubt in my mind, none whatsoever, because my identity is I am a mama bear when I need to be a mama bear. When it comes to business, for some reason, women, we have bought into this notion that like you can't be a great mom and a great business leader. Like, that's just not true. You can't have a great income and a great family life. That's also not very true. Like, that's a big fat lie. You have to intend to do both, right? You have to intend both. The only reason people experience a lot of imbalance is when their intention and their identity is a little skewed. And if you don't actually chart a course, put down in writing, this is who I'm going to show up as in 2026, then you're leaving it to whatever happens to happen in the course of the day. You actually let somebody else dictate your identity. If you haven't set one, remind yourself you are this thing and look at it day after day after day after day. So, step number one is to create a very clear, specific identity for yourself. Now, step number two is to identify what it is exactly you are building and for whom. Oh, so many people are like, I'm just going to talk about my things. I'm just going to share all the things. And listen, I know it takes a minute to figure things out, but you have to ask yourself, if I'm going to show up as an executive of a business that makes $1 million or brings home $20,000 a month, or even brings home $5,000 to $10,000 a month, who is this business for? You have to make that decision. You have to know, if you're fishing, what type of fish you're looking for and what problem you are committed. I decided, I'm committed to helping you solve. Now, this is significantly different than just selling stuff to people. This is next level service, next level leadership, next level community building. You see, we're not talking about transactions here. If you want a business that is transactional, you need to go and get a job at a fast food restaurant, wear a paper hat, smell like French fries, all the things. You'll never have to worry. There are always endless customers coming your way. Satisfying? No. Smell like French fries? Yeah. Not a great trade. If you're listening to this, I know you have committed to creating an impact. In addition to the identity, you have to really focus in on, well, who is this business for? And where people struggle with this is when they represent a product or service that has too many things. Too many things. Like, I'm going to tell you, the number of companies that I have seen go from skyrocketing success to like the big roller coaster dive of doubt are businesses that lost sight of the problem they solve and who they're committed to solving it for. When you offer everything and you are talking about everything, you have commoditized and created such a vague offer that even if your prospects are listening, you're going to drive them to Amazon before you drive them to your brand. So you have to decide, who is my business for? Who am I talking to? And I know people go, oh, you got to identify your niche. No, let's just talk about who is your ideal client. And here's a hint, it's a person very much like you. If you're in middle age, it's probably a middle-aged person like you. If you're super young and still working, it might be a person just like you. And I have to tell you, if you look at the folks in your business that are your best customers, or if you're in network marketing, your best business builders, they're probably very much like you. Okay. So once I have defined, this is the problem I'm solving, these are the people that I am looking for and committed to helping reach their goals. Step number 3 is putting some boundaries around this dang thing, because around here we are teaching calm confidence, ladies and gentlemen, which means we're not doing it like chickens with our head cut off. We are doing it in a sustainable, non-chaotic kind of way. It is okay. I don't care who tells you it's not. I have been there. I have been on that side. I have been below the intention line. So I have. So I just, full confession. But you have to ask yourself, if you want a long-term, sustainable, growing business, what am I unwilling to trade for growth? And listen, people don't have this conversation. Why? Because it's in some people's best interests for you to run around like a chicken with your head cut off. guilty as charged. Like literally. I I remember when I had my own network marketing business and I could grow the leaders. I could grow the leaders. We were running one woman who was honestly one of the sweetest human beings on earth said to me, "Don't we get credit for trying?" Like I feel like all you care about is when people succeed. And those of us that are here trying, I don't feel like we get credit. Mm, like a big, huge foreshadow. Huge foreshadow. She wasn't wrong. I literally didn't care about trying. Like I know I'm just being authentic here. It's not pretty. I'm not happy to admit that. But I went through a phase of my life during my whole toxic hustle period of like, we're just going to get it done. We're just going to get it done. We're going to get it done. And I didn't tell people, you know what? You should set some boundaries and you should work within those boundaries. Why? Because I had a scarcity mindset. That's really what that boils down to. People who don't have boundaries have scarcity mindset. It is totally okay for you to say, you know what? My health is important to me. I will not sacrifice my health. My peace is important to me. I will not sacrifice my peace. So that means I'm not having certain conversation. That means I don't go into certain chats. That means I don't talk about other people or other businesses in a negative way. Like I will not sacrifice my peace. Maybe it's I also will not sacrifice my family time. Like those people out there and I listen, I was part of the old school. I was part of like, oh, it's okay to miss soccer so that you can be at every soccer practice in the future. Mm, mm, I'm sorry. Listen, if family time is a high value to you, you work around your family time. If integrity is something you're not willing to compromise, there are boundaries. You have to have one, at least one, and it's okay to have a clear set of boundaries. Now, let me tell you, your boundaries are not excuses. I want to make that very clear. Your boundaries are not excuses. Your boundaries are just simply the things you're not going to sacrifice on the way to your commitment to reaching the goal, on your way to your identity big move and the decisions you've made. This is how you are shaped. And these are the things that are not excuses. They are things you set time for, but you don't let those boundaries, right, get sacrificed, but you also do not let them encroach on the time required to commit and walk out your intention. So boundaries are fabulous, but they work two ways. They work two ways. Work time is work time. Family time is family time. Be present with your family when it's family time and be present and efficient during your work time. The big thing I see here is people who do not have intention with boundaries is like everything is overlapped, everything is mixed in. You know, it's like, oh, I got to figure out how I can find time for this. And I'm like, no, friend. You've already made a decision that this is going to work, which means that you've already figured out this is my family time, this is my health time. These are the rules under which I will function. Everything else then is like, okay, this is what I'm using to get the results I'm looking for. Are you picking up what I'm laying down? And then you assemble all of this into one sentence. So you put it together in a clear framework. This is where I'm going. This is who I am. This is who I serve. These are the boundaries. So I am going to build a 6 or 7 figure income using my knowledge of X, Y, and Z and these products or services without sacrificing, right? And I'm going to build it. Like I was very specific. this product or service to help these type of women. I didn't say who I serve, to help these type of women. So for me, it's, you know what? I'm going to build a 7-figure income from scratch, y'all. I'm going to build a 7-figure income through a community of women who are dedicated to growing their businesses with calm confidence, create impact without burnout in a supportive, no drama sort of way, so that we can focus on strength, efficiency, and stability. Are you picking up what I'm laying down, right? I'm being very clear without creating burnout or chaos. I want to create a community of strong women who are dedicated to linking arms with each other, lifting each other, because that's what I experienced. One of the things I loved the most about business building was finding communities that didn't have scarcity mindsets, that were very empowering, that were super supportive of one another in so many different aspects. It's such a beautiful way to create a community. Now, I'm not going to burn out. I'm not going to overwork myself. I'm going to take my weekends off. It's all about family time. But it clear, like, what happens when you say that, at least in my head, is like it's like a road with a bunch of debris on it. I feel like for so long I've been working in this debris field highway. And the minute you set your intention, the debris moves away. The debris moves away and you're just driving and smiling and enjoying every single step along the way. It enforces clarity. It enforces fun. It enforces meaning. And I love this notion of being able to have your intention printed out in front of you to look at every single day. So if I have my intention to create a community of women, then guess what I have to do from day to day? I have to be building this community with intention. I'm not going to wait for it to happen. I'm not going to see what happens. Part of my day every day is to start new conversations with people to see, like, hey, are you a fit here? Notice the difference though. Are you a fit here? I'm not looking to chase people. Like, that's not the vibe. I, I'm leading people through a discovery process of, does this fit for you? You need to do the same thing. It's not about begging people to join you. It's not about having specials all the time that people just take advantage of and then drop off the face of the earth. It is literally about, like, hey, I'm looking for alignment. Are we aligned? Because this is where this train is going. Get on. Get on. You got to do the same thing. You've got to be pulling a train up to a bunch of different stations every day, getting out, looking on the platform and asking, did you buy a ticket? Get in. Get in. We may or may not circle back around, but get in if you are ready now. You see, if you are very clear about where you're going, the people who are looking for you, it makes it infinitely easier for them to say yes. Y'all, the brain does not like vague. The brain does not like vague. So let's see how this works, or let's see if it's going. It is so okay to say, not really sure how this all works, but one thing I am sure of is we're going to make it work. I am sure of that. So when I reach out to people and I have a conversation with them, guess what my intention is? My intention is to invite them into a discovery conversation. I'm not intending to sell to them. The next step in the conversation will unfold. And my intention is to either get you to see we are aligned, for us both to agree that we are aligned, or for me to move the train forward without you, for you to do your thing in peace and love, and God bless you. And I do mean that in all sincerity. And maybe you'll catch me at another station, but I'm not waiting for you to validate for me because I've already made the decision. Some of y'all need to step into that energy. And it comes from a very meaningful and simple decision. But the thing that makes it hard is your history. It's your history. The minute you start to make a decision to create intention, there is a part of your brain that goes, you did this before, remember? But the truth is, this time around, you've made a commitment. See, I would dare say that so many of you never fully made a commitment. And commitment to me means we're not going to stop trying until we get it right. We're not going to stop trying and adjusting and measuring until we get it right. There is no, I might quit. There isn't. And there is no, well, what if we don't know? Not even a possibility. When you set an intention, failure is not entered into the equation. And I hear your thought bubbles right now. This is the exact thing that may be holding you back. So, what I have done is I have created a GPT for you to have a discussion about intention and to help you create a yearly, you got to start with a yearly intention because you got to know where the line is. You got to know where the line is. Some of you guys are operating below the line of intention, and operating below the line of intention leads to self-doubt, leads to loss of confidence, leads to spiraling, leads to ups and downs, and there's just enough ups that you think there might be a hope, but you don't ever get any traction. If you actually looked at your business over the course of a year or two, you will see you don't really have traction. And that is just simply an indication of you haven't drawn the line and you aren't committed to operating above the line of intention. So I want to invite you to have the most remarkable 2026. I want to invite you to do something so profoundly legacy driven for your children's children. Think about that for a minute. Think about the fact that you could make a decision today that impacts future generations to come. That is the gift of having your own business and figuring it out. So I want you to take a looky-loo in the comments. In the show notes. I want you to also, hey, listen, I'm telling you, there's a group of us marching forward. If you want to play in our space, if you want to see if this could be a fit for you, make sure you check out that link also in the show notes. And let's have a discussion about whether you're a right fit for the community. Why? Because I have serious intention and it's not for everybody. It's not. There's so many coaches out there. There's so many other programs out there. We are not just taking anyone that fogs a mirror. But if this resonates with you, if this is the kind of energy you want to show up with and you want the support and accountability in 2026, go ahead and click on that link and let's have a convo. But until then, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. And I know there's so much more ahead for you.